right, guys. Hey, look at this. I'm joined by a friend here on the program. He's had a pretty crazy time. We were just chatting off camera, and he's been to about 100 events in the space of a few months. He now has a fight locked in the main event of UFC Paris at the start of September. The one and only Caio Borralhol. How about this, man? We got the fight we were looking for. You got Imavov in the main event of a huge card in Paris there.
Yeah.
Must feel pretty good, right? Like you finally got it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me. And I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good now. I'm happy with this fight, finally got the fight that I wanted. So Imavov's going to do what I wanted him to do. And now it's finally time to meet him in the octagon. So we have a date. We have a big event in France, and I'm excited. I'm excited to go there and to put on a show to the French people. I think they deserve this kind of show. I think they are very crazy MMA fans. They like the action, they love the sport, and I'm willing to go there and represent them, and put on a great performance and a good show for the people of French too.
By the way, for those that don't realize, you were actually at Alex Pereira's birthday party last night, so you're still acclimating to being back. What's an Alex Pereira birthday party like? Was it pretty wild?
No, actually it was nice. I don't drink at all, so I was drinking water the whole party. And we were there dancing with the team, the Fighting Nerd teams. A piece of the team was there, so we were having fun. And Alex is a nice guy, he made us stay comfortable all the time. Also, there was some good food and good drinks, juice and water. Of course, there was some alcohol and all that because people like that too. But good shows, there was a magician's show over there. There was a samba show, and there was a band playing all the time over there, So it was pretty nice. It was pretty cool.
So you don't drink alcohol at all?
Not at all. Like it's very rare. There's moments that I drink alcohol. It's definitely is when I'm like celebrating a victory, or when I'm on vacation in my hometown that I drink. I used to drink a little bit with my father, but my father doesn't drink anymore. So yeah, like nowadays I don't drink that much.
That's interesting, man, because obviously you're around a lot of alcohol and other things when you go to these fight weeks. Was it a personal choice from a young age not to drink much? Or was it something that you were never really into?
No, I used to drink a little bit more, but I realized how this is bad to my performance and to my body. And I wanted to stay healthy as I can, as much as possible, So I was kind of fighting against it, like, no, I can have fun without drinking right here, and tomorrow I'll be 100%, It's more like a personal choice for sure for now in this moment of my career, When I retire, I'm going to be on the beach drinking margaritas and all that. So that would be a good time to do that,
By the way, we got a few members on the team who like to have a few drinks. Prades, for example, loves a couple of drinks, right? And also, I got to bring up this. You guys were in Vegas, and you guys had a lot of fun parties. But also, let's just have a look at this video, man. You ran into CKB. Talk me through this. This is pretty cool, right? You guys did like a little face-off here amongst each other in the back. Look at this. You and Izzy.
Yes.
Jean and Alex. Look at that. There's Olberg. Dan Hooker. Look at him. He's loving it. Ruffy. Look at that. And a photo all together.
Yeah, that was an awesome moment. Those guys from CKB, they were dominating the game for in the past few years. They were dominating the game and everything. And they actually inspired us a lot as a team, to know how to build our brand, to know how to build ourselves. And definitely we're big fans of these guys, and then we were there in the International Fight Week and backstage in the event over there. I think it was on the weigh-ins day. And then we were there with 4 of us were there. And then I saw 4 of them over there lining up, and I was like, guys, let's do a 4v4 and just stare at these guys. I think the internet will be crazy about it, And actually, it's pretty much our weight class. Just Carlos, that is not the same weight class as Ulberg, But I think it's to people, you know, it was very good idea. We broke the internet with that, and I think it was very nice.
Yeah, it was funny because you had the two Carloses facing off, two different weight classes, but two Carloses, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
What was it like doing it with Izzy? Because I know for a while we thought it would be you and Israel having this fight. Now I'm not so sure you guys will fight each other. Was it kind of cool to get to have that experience with him?
Yeah, it was nice. I had previous experience with Easy too before, you know, and he's a nice guy. I'm a big fan of him. He's a legend on the sport. I actually said that to him a lot of times, and it was actually funny because in the time that I was going to talk to them about doing the 4v4 stare down, he was the most excited about it. Let's do it, guys, let's do it. And then when we did, we were really serious at the time, and we stayed staring at each other like this. And then just like right away, I said, "I love you, brother." and then he laughed his ass out and all that. And it's a good vibes with Easy all the time, even though that we might fight each other someday, you know. But it's a good vibes always. And in the party, he was kind of wanted to celebrate with me all the time, like give me some drinks to do cheers, you know. I'm like, no, I'm not drinking. I'm good. I'm gonna do with water and all that. So it's always good vibes with this guy. You know, he's a phenomenal athlete. He's a legend on the sport. I have nothing but respect for this guy. And if we fight someday, I think it'll be a phenomenal fight. You know.
Yeah, man.
Business, pure business.
It's interesting because I've been around him at some parties and stuff as well. And he's actually like a really nice guy. Like, you know, he's really cool to fans. I've seen him. He like remembers different fans. He'll like shake everyone's hand. He's like really, really chill. And he's like a big name. And I've seen a lot of big names in the past, not him, but like, or from his team, but from other places be kind of rude to people. He's always so polite to everyone, man. That's a real bonus.
When I was in Sydney, I met him in over there, and we met ourselves in a party. Actually, I was in a party with a friend, and then in the middle of nothing, he came to the party, and everybody with him and all that. He looked at me from far away, and then he came to me. And at that time, I wasn't having any fight schedule. I was like overweight and all that. I was like just having fun. Also at this time I was drinking a little bit. So he came to me and said, let's celebrate together. He gave me a tequila. I drank a tequila with him, and then he said, you're gonna be with me the whole night, okay? I said, okay. And then he brought me to his Airbnb. We had fun over there with his brother, his family, and all his team. We played some ping pong and all that. So we had fun, you know. Like he was always a guy that looked at me with respect, and I look at him with the same way, you know. He's a very polite guy, very, very nice guy. And I wasn't like, I was with the truth when I said to him when his face, like, I love you, brother. Like, I really love you, you know? Like, there's no ego in me that I couldn't say that, you know? So it was good.
Sorry, man, to cut out for a sec. Hey, let me ask, yeah, and by the way, shout out to Dave and the family. They're all so lovely and gracious during fight week. Yeah. Let me just quickly ask you, who do you think should fight Izzy next? Like, it's an interesting one, right? Like, you think it should be Sean Strickland, but he's pretty like, Sean doesn't look like he's in fighting shape at the moment. Is it just the Sean Strickland fight you're interested in? Or like, respectfully, he looks like he's more of a heavyweight at the moment. Or is there someone else in the division you'd like to see Izzy fight so it's a little sooner?
Yeah, but Strickland always make weight, you know, like he gets heavy a little bit. He likes to eat a lot of meat and all that. But I think he drinks a lot of Monster. A lot of calories, liquid calories on his body. So maybe because of that too, you know. But I think this is the fight to make. That was the fight that made the throne of Israel that was like winning from everyone, and that was the fight that actually took him out of the throne. You know, he lost this fight that he wasn't supposed to lose. Nobody was thinking that Strickland could be Adesanya, but actually I did, because I did a prediction on this fight, and I said exactly how this fight was going, and it did exactly as I said. And so I think this is a very interesting fight to know how easy is gonna come back, how he's gonna adapt to the Strickland style that I think doesn't match with his style too much. And I think this is the fight to make. I'm very interested to see this fight, and I hope this fight is after my fight so I can go to the event and see that.
You predicted the first one. How do you see this rematch going?
To be honest, I see it the same way, because Strickland, styles make fights, you know what I mean? And Strickland is a guy that pressure a lot. And Easy doesn't like to get pressure too much. He moves a lot, he moves good, he walks very good in the octagon and all that. But he need the guy to throw with everything if the guy is pressure him. But Strickland doesn't throw with everything. He touches you, So I think it's gonna be, maybe it can be different, but I think it's gonna be the same thing. Strickland is gonna be marching forward. Easy what is gonna be trying to guess which punch is coming with power, and then there will be no power, and then he's gonna be a little bit confused. He's gonna get touched a lot, and yeah, I think Strickland wins again.
Well, dude, that's interesting as well, because
what is Strickland that showed up against Dricus? Because please, like, this Strickland is not the Strickland that I know, you know what I mean? So if Strickland really show up to fight like he did the first time with Easy, I think he wins this fight. It's not an easy fight for both, but I think he wins.
You were there, though, for that fight. What do you think it was with Strickland where he wasn't really firing on all cylinders?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You were training with him a little bit as well. Like, he looked sharp in the training.
We did 5 rounds sparring this week. He was very good. He was in shape. We did some grappling rounds too, and he was very, very good, confident and all that. But in the day of the fight, he was off, But I don't want to take the credit out of Dricus, because Dricus actually adapted very well from this first fight that he had a little bit of trouble in the fight. So I think Dricus did a very good job adapting himself and to know how to beat Strickland. Strickland is a guy that you face the first time is harder than you face the second time.
By the way, that fight that's going to happen before you fight Imavov, DDP versus Khamzat. It's going to be a big one, man. UFC 319. Khamzat's in the country, so it looks like the fight's going to happen, and it's going to be a pretty huge fight. It's hard for me to really predict this one. I know you're always telling me it's hard for me to pick DDP. I always pick against him. Now we're a little closer to this fight. Are you going to be riding with DDP for this one, or you think Khamzat is going to walk away the champion?
Actually, right now, it's hard to bet against DDP because he always shut my mouth, I always bet against him, and he always shut my mouth. So it's hard to bet against him, but it's hard to bet against Khamzat. It's just going to be how prepared to the Khamzat style. That is not a wrestling style. It's a different thing. That's the mistake that people do a lot. They prepare to fight against a wrestler, and Khamzat is not. It's not pure wrestling. He has a system. He does something different. He puts jiu-jitsu on the wrestling. So he needs to be well prepared, not against a wrestler, but against this Khamzat style. And I don't know if he's going to be ready for that. Like, I feel that this fight can be as fast as the Whittaker fight. Like, really. Oh,
wow.
I think this fight can be really, really fast. But I can see this fight going to the second, the third round, and then I see some advantage for Dricus, you know what I mean?
Do you feel like Dricus' size will be a problem at all, or not really?
Yeah, size and strength, Like, I think Khamzat, to make him stay on the ground and all that, and Dricus is not bad on the ground, So to make him stay on the ground and all that, if Dricus can take like 1.5 rounds or 2 rounds, maybe Khamzat will be like fatigued for doing so much strength and all that, and then the fight's gonna get better to Dricus,
And another big fight in your division as well is, what did you think of this RDR Robert Whittaker fight being made for the main event of Abu Dhabi? That's an interesting fight too, right?
Yeah, but bullshit.
Do you rate how far do you think RDR can go in the division?
I don't want to say anything, like, because I said the same thing for Dricus, that he was very bad. He wasn't like very like style fighter and all that. And look what he did. He's the reigning champion, you know, defending his belt 3 or 4 times already or something like that. So, but my opinion on RDR is that he's a very, very experienced guy with a lot of experience, but outside of the UFC. And now he's getting these big names and all that. And Whittaker, I didn't got him. I respect Whittaker a lot. I'm a big fan of him. He's a legend, one of the GOATs in middleweight division, you know. But I wanted to fight him, and then he said no because he still had problems with his jaw, and then that he wanted to fight maybe August or something like that. And then he said no right away. But then when came the opportunity to fight RDR, he said yes right away. So I'm pretty confused about it, you know. I don't know why he didn't accept to fight me. And I think this fight, I think Whittaker wins this fight. You know, Whittaker is not bad on the ground. Whittaker knows how to move himself. And if we talk about striking, RDR is ridiculous, bro. You know, like he doesn't even know how to walk in the cage too much. So definitely he is doing a great job in the UFC. But how you go from beating Bo Nickal to fight one of the GOATs of middleweight division? This like it doesn't make sense to me, you know. So I think this fight is bullshit. But I think Whittaker wins.
It's fascinating, man. I like how you compared him to DDP because they're both unorthodox and they both have that gamesmanship and the experience, and they love to be in there. And then there's that X factor that we can't really predict in fighting that so many fighters have. And then that overtakes a lot of other aspects of things. Let me talk to you about Imavov, though. So Imavov said, no. I'm going to be the backup for UFC 319. You came on the show. You did a bunch of interviews. Man, I think you worked the hardest I've seen anybody work to lock in a fight in the UFC this year. Like you were out there. Come on, Imavov. Like you were on Twitter. You were just doing what you can to try and lock this fight in. Why did Imavov decide to fight you eventually? What do you think actually happened to make that happen?
Because he's not the one to make rules here. You know, even if it's the number 1 ranking guy or something like that, like he's not an entertaining fighter. Some early stoppers. He lost to Phil Howes. So he's not the guy that make rules here, you know. He's not in this position already, and he thought that he was, but he wasn't. So he's gonna do exactly what I said that he was going to do, and this to fight me. And I wanted the fight. I spoke with the UFC that I wanted them to make this fight, and they made this fight. You know, like he's very contrary about it. You know, he's still on that position, you know, but he has no options right now. He cannot sit on the number 1 contender spot and stay there as long as you want and just fight for the belt and that you're next or something like that. No, man, like you beat Old Easy. You had an early stoppage with Cannonier that you were losing the fight. You almost didn't beat Brandon Allen I think it was in England, maybe, or he was in France. I don't know. But he almost didn't beat. He did an awful fight for 3 rounds that he got tired with Brandon Allen. And I've been dominating all my opponents. Cannonier, Paul Craig, Abus, Michal, and all these guys. I've been dominating all of them, all my fights. Like, I think the only really competitive fight that I had, it was against Cannonier, but I still dominated this fight. So I'm the guy that supposed to be going into this run for the belt because I'm undefeated in the UFC, in the roster. I'm undefeated in UFC, 7-0, 9-0 with the Contender Series. I'm 10 years unbeaten. The last lose that I had was on 2015 when I fought welterweight. So that's the fight that makes sense. A big prospect that doesn't lose coming against a guy that seeing himself, and he actually is the number 1 in the rankings. That's the fights to make to respect the sport, you know? Like people need to see who is the real contender to fight for the belt. And this is the fight to make to know who is the real contender on this one, you know?
Dude, yeah, it's crazy. It's been almost a year when you get in the octagon, it took you almost a year to lock in a fight. Like you've been sitting here trying to get a fight since your Cannoneer win, which was on the 24th of August last year. How do you personally feel about Imavov? I know you guys have had like back and forth online. He has a lot to say about you. You said a lot about him leading into this. Is this probably the first time going into the fight where you've kind of not really been the biggest fan of the guy that you're fighting?
No, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of his style. Like, he's not an entertaining fight. But I have a lot of respect for his career. He's a young guy, new generation that moves very good. He's really fast. So I have a big respect for his attribute as an athlete. You know what I mean? But it doesn't, like, all this that we are doing, we are selling the fight. We're promoting the fight. It's just business, you know? At the end of the day, he does a great video promoting the fight, talking about me. And I laughed my ass out, brother. His last video was genius move. And I was laughing with the phone. I was like, fuck, this guy is a genius.
Actually, was that the compilation of you talking about him, that video?
Yeah, exactly. That was a genius move. Actually, wasn't his idea. I'm 100% sure that wasn't his idea. Because this guy just started promoting fight right now that he's going to fight me. That's all, you know, so he realized how important it is to promote fight. And as a good nerd and a good professor, I teach him very well how to do it, you know? So he's doing what I want. He's doing exactly what I want, the way I want. He ran away a lot. So I'm coming to pick him up in his place. That is not, and to be honest, it's not his place. You know what I mean? He's from Dagestan. He's a Russian. He just used French as a tool. You know what I mean? He doesn't seem to be very respectful for the French people. He actually posted a clip with some journalists saying that, like, you're not even a big star in French. He was very like, I don't need to be starring anywhere. I do what I want and all that. So he's not a guy that respects the French people, the history of French people. You know what I mean? I am this guy. I respect a lot of the French people, where they came from. Like, I sometimes compare myself as a strategist, as a tactician, just like Napoleon was. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not saying about the other things that he did, that like as an emperor, but I'm saying Napoleon as a strategist and a tactician that came from down under and conquered everything that he wanted. You know what I mean? And actually, like, he just got his downfall. He just the Napoleon just lost everything because of battle against Russia. You know what I mean? So he's a Russian guy. He's the reason, he's come from the reason where, because like he came from the reason of why Napoleon got his ass beat and got destroyed. You know what I mean? And I'm coming there just to pay this back, you know, to honor the French people, to be strategic and tactician, just as Napoleon did. And I'm coming to that because I respect the history. I respect the revolution. I respect how these people from French came from down under and conquered to where they are right now. And French in Brazil, if we say about politician, as a politicians, they do very well against each other. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm the French guy going there to represent French against a Russian guy. That was the reason why the French people lost a lot of things, you know.
Wow, man. Well, this is going to be an exciting press conference when you're over there explaining all of this. Just quickly before we wrap up, I got to ask you, man, how do you actually see this fight going? You mentioned his style. You feel like it's not the most exciting. You're not the biggest fan of his style, but how do you see you guys matching up? You mentioned how styles make fights.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give my game plan here.
Of course.
Of course.
I mean, you go ahead. It's okay. You know, you won't watch this.
I see this fight like this. I'm gonna pressure this guy. He's gonna get tired, and I'm gonna knock him out. That's what I'm gonna do. He's gonna be too emotional in this fight and all that, and I'm gonna knock him out with his own emotions. You know, like this. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is a fight that I'm gonna get punched in the face. He's gonna get punched in the face. But everybody already saw who is comfortable in this position of getting punched in the face, and it's not him. He doesn't like to get punched. Even training, I heard a lot about him. I've been training with guys that already trained with him. He gets mad when he gets touched on his face. And that's exactly what's going to happen in the fight. You know what I mean? I'm going to touch him a lot. I'm going to pressure him. I'm going to defend his speed. And then in the right time, I'm going to knock him out. That's what I'm going to do.
God damn, dude. And then, of course, the title shot after that, it has to be for the winner of this one. UFC Paris goes down. There he is, one half of the main event, Caio. Dude, so happy for you, man. I know you worked your ass off to get this fight. It took about a year, but here we are. You finally have a fight that's worthy of your time. Good luck with your training camp. We'll have a chat again closer to the fight, but follow the man, of course, and the Fighting Nerds too. What a team and what a moment right now in your career. Really happy for you, dude.
Thank you so much, bro. Thank you for having me. And to all the French people, I'm going to avenge you guys.